Hello everyone, I just wanted to make a short video about the FrSky Horus that I've had for a couple of weeks now. General feedback, I really like the radio. I like the way it's built really well, out of solid material, a lot of aluminum parts. The screen is really nice and crisp, very colorful. Switches are working very well. The gimbals are really nice. They are the main reason I decided to buy this radio, because of the Hall effect sensors. I'm still trying to find out a little bit about the Hall effect. From what I read, they give you better resolution. There's no contact, as in potentiometers. Potentiometers can wear out, whereas the Hall effect apparently is a contactless sensor, so it should last for a very long time. The original firmware I'm not a big fan of. I prefer OpenTX. I've had OpenTX on this radio pretty much from the start, because I really didn't like the sounds from the original firmware. They were really annoying. But I loaded OpenTX on the radio, and it gives you a lot of options. It's very similar to the way we're used to programming with the Tyrannus, so I prefer that, and I will be running that as soon as I possibly can. The problem with OpenTX, it's still in beta stages, it hasn't been officially released, so I can't wait for that. On the minus side though, it is a pretty heavy radio, 1.3 kilograms versus only 800 grams on the Tyrannus, so it does feel relatively heavy. I think especially if you're using your thumbs and where you're normally holding your radio in the air. I pinch now, so I would usually have it in a strap, so I don't find that problem anymore. These buttons here are a little bit of a weak point on this radio, especially the wheel. It's easy to miss what you're trying to click on, but I think once you get used to it, you can live with that. This thing, I think it's poor design. Normally when I have the radio up, it'll swing like this, and then when I put it against my body, it'll close, and then as soon as I let it go, it'll open again. So this thing just keeps on popping in and out all the time. So I feel that this is a little bit weird, and I think it's pushed up a little bit. You can't adjust the placement of the straps. I would prefer it to be positioned closer to here, so it's a little bit more level instead of bottom heavy, but I've gotten used to that. The problem that I've had with it was I had already 3 crashes because of failsafe, and 2 separate quads. I'm pretty sure it wasn't my quads, because I've flown all of them with my Tyrannus before, never had those issues before. People blame all kinds of receiver placements and stuff like that, but if the Tyrannus doesn't have that problem, the Horus shouldn't have those problems as well. Now there's other people that are reporting the same issues. There's threads on RC groups with guys having the same problems as me. FrSky apparently is going to be sending us external antennas to use, but it's kind of a poor answer to a problem like that. So I'm hoping these problems are going to be resolved with firmware, because I wouldn't want to get rid of the radio. I still like the radio, I just wish it would be as reliable as my Tyrannus. Despite the little things and the weight, I still like the way this radio is built. The Tyrannus feels kind of cheap once you've used this for a little bit. So I've spent quite a bit of time range testing the radio in the field. I have my Tyrannus here. I've modified it with an SMA connector. I have the 2 dB and the 5 dB antennas, and I had really good consistent results. With the Tyrannus, if I faced anywhere like this towards the quad, let's say the quad is that way, anywhere I faced, it would be almost identical. The only difference is when I was blocking the radio with my body, then the range would cut down quite considerably, but anything other than that, it was consistent. Now with the Horus, the results were much more inconsistent. When I faced away or even sideways to the quad, the range would be definitely lower than the Tyrannus. If I faced the radio toward the quad, it would be almost comparable to the Tyrannus. The problem is when we fly FPV, we don't follow the model as plane flyers would do. When we fly FPV, we tend to be in a fixed position, so having omnidirectional coverage is very important. With the Tyrannus, because the antenna is pointing up like this, the coverage is equal everywhere. Now on the Horus, the internal antenna I think is directional, so I don't think it's ideal for APV flying, but I'm not exactly sure about that one. I did test external antennas. I had the 2 dB and a 5 dB on the external antenna port, and it's still, the Tyrannus was able to give me better results doing wrench testing in the field. So I'm not sure what the fix is right now. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully it's only firmware, but we'll have to wait and see. So I hope these problems are resolved soon. I will keep an eye on it. I'll update you guys as soon as a solution is presented. If not, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what FrSky is going to, whether they're gonna recall the radio or whether they're gonna send a fix or whether it's just a software fix. Hopefully it's just a software fix and we can move on. But overall, mixed opinions right now. Like I said, the build quality is awesome. I really like it, but I can't have an unreliable link. That is the most important thing to me. So for now, I'm going to be flying my Tyrannus mostly. I may fly this in my local field where it's grassy, so if I crash, it's not a bad thing. Although I did break one arm because of a crash on this radio, and so that's not ideal. Okay guys, I will let you know. Meanwhile, take care.